Hey everyone, welcome to this impromptu live. My name is Marissa Price. I am a Black woman social worker, intuitive healer, and business coach, also freelancer. And just coming to y'all today with a topic that has been on my mind, why freelancing is for Black women, right? 3 reasons why. I am also hosting an upcoming webinar with my fellow Black woman freelancer, Quinn Edwards, who is a web designer, and we will be hosting this on December 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to register, the link is in the description section, and it's also on the screen as well. But this is just something I've been sitting with, right? Why is freelancing for Black women? We are often left out of conversations on freelancing. I know for me, freelancing was never presented as an opportunity for me to pursue outside of traditional work, right? I never heard the term freelancing ever. Hey, Dee, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Yes, if y'all are joining live, please let us know so we can say hello to you, as always. But yeah, this was never like presented as an option for me. And that led me to ask myself why, right? Why was that? Because so many of us are socialized to just go into the workplace, right? To become members of organizations, of institutions, really that do not value us. As we have seen over and over again, we know the treatment of Black women in the workplace is really getting worse with the political climate, with people feeling like they can just say anything that they want, right? Kind of unleash what they have been holding back all this time. And so, why don't we pursue something like freelancing that can provide us with 3 things that I'm going to share today as a different way to bring in income, right? As Stephanie Perry has told all of us, which has kind of like opened so many of our eyes, we don't need a job, we need income, right? To live in a capitalist system, we need income to survive, unfortunately. But you don't need a job title. And once you free yourself from that, because so many of us have wrapped our identities, I'll speak for myself. I did that with the job that I was in, really wrapping my identity in what I was doing, in the place that I was working, in the degrees that I had, right? Thinking that that made me. But really, freelancing has provided me with a way to really like release that, right? I am who I am, period, no matter what environment I'm in, no matter what job title I have. And so freelancing can potentially provide you with that freedom too, as well. Yes. So, right, Black women have been overlooked for too long in conversations about freelancing. Like I said, it was never presented as an option to me. Let me know in the chat if it was presented as an option to you. I know like the term freelancing and really me thinking that I could do it, this was only recently, right? This was only when I really started my business, which was almost 2 years ago at this point. And before that, I had never thought that I could be a freelancer. I thought that that was off limits to me, right? Which is, I talk about on my channel a lot how oppression functions, telling us that things that are off limits to us, but other people can take full advantage of them to get things like location freedom, right? Time freedom, flexibility. But yet we have to suffer in these environments that do not value us, that are breaking our self esteem down, where we have to fight for things that we should already have, right? That should be put into place already. And so, why are we being told these messages, but everyone else has this freedom accessible to them, right? That's really like a point of contention as I've been sitting with that. So, yeah. So, why are we left out of these conversations, right? It's time that we claim our space in this movement for freelancing. As a lot of us, especially as I alluded to, like in the US, the political climate, things worsening just all around, the systems shaking, right? And yeah, we're at the end. It feels like we're at the end of something and something else is going to start. I don't know if y'all feel that way, but to be able to have the location freedom to be able to have income, right? Have a source of income as you move around the world, wherever that may be, wherever you want to be, really, can be free. And freelancing does provide you with a way to do that. Hey, Butterfly Effect, good to see you. Good to see you here. Yes. My mouse is, yes, I need to charge my mouse. Yes. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. But yes, so common myths that we hear through freelancing, right? Freelancing is only for certain people, for tech people, for creative people. That's not true, right? So your existing skill set, which I'm going to talk about before, I've done a number of webinars on this already, how you can take your existing skill set. A lot of us don't even realize that we have skills, right? It's gotten to that point in me even like realizing that for myself, having been in toxic work environment after toxic work environment, right? And this is the case for a lot of us, not even realizing that I had skills. And so that can be a first step, really taking a skills inventory. What do you do, right? On a daily basis, things that may come naturally to you. Hey, Kyoka, good to see you here. Thank you for being here. Hello. Yeah, so what are your existing skills, right? You don't have to be a tech person. You don't have to be a creative person. There are many different routes. There are really unlimited routes that you can go with freelancing. So whatever is your skill set, your talent base, and also another myth is that you have to be a virtual assistant, which I started off as, which I also believed, right? That was something that I've had to unlearn. You don't have to be a virtual assistant, which is somebody who just assists someone with their business virtually. So we know like personal assistants are usually in person, right? And you're just taking that role virtually. So I started off doing that. I'm now pivoting out of that and doing coaching, leaning into my social work skill set with mental health coaching. Hey, Maya, good to see you. Good to see you here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so like I said, your skill set is unlimited. And it may help to just do a skills inventory. And I think I did a presentation through Libria Jones Quick Commuting Academy a few months ago. I think I'm going to put that back on, like do that again on my YouTube channel and on my new YouTube channel, Black Women Freelancers, just to walk us through how do you even identify your existing skill set, right? So many of us have been told that we're not skilled. Ooh, we have been mistreated. We have been harmed. We have been told that we are not skilled at all in a lot of these work environments. And so how do you lean back into these things that we know how to do without having to get that validation and approval that so many of us are taught to seek, and really like have that for yourself? Now, I am skilled at this. This is my track record. This is what I've demonstrated. This is what other people ask for my help in. And so now I'm taking those skills for myself and using them as a way to create an income stream, right? Which is really the goal of freelancing. Again, removing the need to have a job title, to be at a certain place to validate your existence. Your existence is valid, period, because you're here, right? And really like taking that off the plate that you have to achieve these things. You have to pursue these things if you don't want them, if they're not resonating with you, if these environments are harming you. Can you literally take your sense of self and put your job titles, these external things that can go away like tomorrow, really, and really tap into who you are, right? And the skills that you have. This is something that I've had to do too. Hey, Key Love, good to see you here. Thank you. Thank you for saying hello. Yeah, another myth. So you need a lot of money or experience to start. So I did a Start Your Online Business from Scratch webinar last year, which is linked, not in this description section, but I'll link it there after the video. But one of the things that really motivated me was being in economic development, being in the banking field, and working on getting capital to Black-owned businesses, which I did in the job that I was in before I transitioned to being a freelancer or virtual assistant, right? So with online business, you don't need a lot of money or experience to start. And just the money part. So these tools have a lot of free plans, something I shared on Black Women Freelancers, my new YouTube channel. Kits, you can start with a free plan on that to build your email list. So a lot of these plans have free plans that you start off on so that you can get familiar with them, grow your business, and then transition to the paid plan if you need to, if your business grows. You really want to keep costs as low as possible when you start a business, because that overhead can really like sink your business before you even start, right? Which is a really great part of online business. Again, these free tools that exist out there, and there are so many tools, which can be overwhelming too. But just the fact that those exist and are out there, that barrier is removed for so many of us who have an aspiration to be an entrepreneur, to start our business, to be a freelancer. Those barriers that have traditionally been there have been removed. And so that's one of the myths I want to dispel. Yeah. So I will link again. I'm hosting a free webinar with my fellow Black woman freelancer Quinn Edwards, who is a web designer, on December 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'll link it here in the chat if you'd like to register. But yes, and y'all please subscribe if you're interested in tools like the business tools, behind the scenes. Please subscribe to Black Women Freelancers, which is my new YouTube channel that I started. And I'll link it here. Yeah, so this is a space that I created to house those things, the behind the scenes, because the process of even understanding the tools that exist out there, and you actually don't need that many, but because there are so many that are being created, it can feel overwhelming. Where do I even begin? And so I'll be uploading behind the scenes tutorials, breaking down concepts that seem kind of out there, right? Like sales funnels. What is this concept? I know that took me a while to even learn, understand what that was. So these business topics that you need to understand to be able to really grow your business, right? You don't need them to start necessarily, but to grow, you do. Breaking those down into easily understandable terms so that more of us can become freelancers, entrepreneurs, if this is your dream. Also realizing that entrepreneurship is not for everyone, right? So do want to say that because it has its ups and downs, and I'll be the first to say that. But if this is your dream, if you have something that you want to pursue, know that you have everything in you to pursue it. And hopefully with these tools I'm providing you with, it makes it a little bit easier and more manageable to see how that dream could come true. Get back to my notes. Yeah, so you can pursue things like consulting, right? Coaching, which I'm pivoting into from being a virtual assistant, pivoting into coaching. So do you coach people already in a certain field? Could you use that as your entryway into becoming a freelancer, having a business, right? Paying people, or people paying you? Because a lot of us are doing things where people are not paying us, and that's fine. But if you do want to start a business, again, under a capitalist system, you do have to charge something for that, right? To have a sustainable business. So it's really getting into that mind frame, thinking about the things that you already do that you can now pivot into becoming a freelancer, an entrepreneur with these things, right? Virtual assistants, like I said, is a field to get into if you want to as a freelancer as well. Writing, design. So it's really like an endless amount of things that you could do with your existing skill set. But the first part is really to tell yourself that you're skilled, that you have skills, right? Even if people have tried to downplay them, again, in these workplaces over and over again, they try to dim our light. And so becoming an entrepreneur, pivoting into that, you really have to validate that for yourself and realize what the game that was being played in these workplaces, right? There's a vested interest in telling us that we're not skilled so that we do not demand these things that should be afforded to us just off the bat. And so it's keeping that in mind too. Okay, so the 3 reasons, the topic of the video, why freelancing can be a game changer for Black women and why Black women can be freelancers, right? We're so often overlooked in this space. It's not presented as an option to us because it goes against how we're socialized within these systems to just work for other people. And if you do want to have a job, believe me, I have considered it, right? Because there are ups and downs to entrepreneurship. Things that you have to learn along the way. It's not always an easy path. So do want to say that as well. But if you have the thing within you that's telling you that you don't want to do this anymore and you want to try something else, even if you do go back to the work environment, know that this is an option for you too. Just as other people are presented with it, why can't we also pursue this as well? Right? So flexibility. You can balance your career aspirations, your interests with personal needs like caregiving, or passion projects, freedom from workplace bias. So you pick your clients when you're a freelancer, right? You pick who you work with, you pick your audience that you're targeting your messaging to, that you are asking, book an appointment with me. You're actually picking those people. versus just having to be around people that you don't necessarily align with, people who talk down to you, which we know is the case a lot in these work environments. So it's getting free from these things that we experience over and over again, microaggressions, right? Glass ceilings, toxic work environments. And freelancing can be a way to pivot out of that, to pursue your creativity, your passions, right? To get away from pet to threat, which is a term coined by 3 Black women professors. We know that when we showcase our skill set, when we showcase our brilliance, it's often met with vitriol, with harm coming our way from just being so brilliant. And so freelancing can provide you with a way to pivot out of that, to take your skills back for yourself, and to get free from things like microaggressions, glass ceilings, things that we encounter in the workplace so often, right? And just to mention, like, intersectionality is so important with Black women because we have multiple identities, right? And so we are battling oppression from multiple angles in the workplace. And so could freelancing provide you with a way, even if you go back to the workplace, right? A way to have a break from this constant, I don't even know the word for it, this constant harm that we're experiencing in the workplace over and over again that we do not deserve, right? But we're told that this is just normal. It's not. It's not, and we shouldn't expect this. So why freelancing is a game changer for Black women? You can take your power back. You can put your power, your skill set back into your hands. You can choose your clients, your projects, right? Your lane that you're going to be in as a freelancer, and your rates, which is a whole other discussion. How to set your rates to make sure that your business is sustainable, right? Because a lot of us are told that we have to devalue what we're putting out. And really, like, getting out of that mindset can be challenging. I know that was one of the biggest challenges for me. So I'll be talking about that in the future as well. Yeah, and so support, right? Support is really so important. As a freelancer, I do have a free community, Black women freelancers as well, if you would like to join. Do I have the link to that? I don't think I do. I'll put that in the description section, though, if you want to join our online community where we share resources, knowledge, support on this journey. Like I said, entrepreneurship has a lot of ups and downs. And so to have a continuous support network of other Black women who are on the same journey has been invaluable and has actually kept me on this journey when I wanted to be like, this is too much. So support is pivotal, right? Support is pivotal. And yes, so I think that's all my notes. Like I said, Black women can be freelancers too. We deserve to have this option too. We don't have to be in workplaces, toxic workplaces that are draining us. If we have a dream of freelancing, of being an entrepreneur, right? Also understanding that this is not the path for everyone, right? But if it is your dream, you should have a place as a freelancer too. And so I would encourage you to attend our upcoming webinar, Work Anywhere, Live Everywhere, Freelancing 101 for Black women on December 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And the replay will be available for a limited amount of time if you can't attend live. But the link is here on the screen as well as in the description section. So I would encourage you to register. And just know that, freelancing isn't just for other people. It's for us too. And we have the power to reclaim our skill sets, reclaim the things that we have worked on, the projects we have worked on, things we have honed over time that we may not even recognize are skills, but they are, and pivot into something that feels better than a toxic work environment that provides a way for location freedom, which is the ultimate goal for a lot of us. All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for being here on this impromptu live. And yes, please subscribe to Black Women Freelancers. And hope to see you at the webinar, y'all. Thank you. Bye.